DJI have recently updated their DJI Fly app to version 1.7.8. This has added additional support primarily for the DJI Mini 3 Pro and the Air 2S with a few new handy features. However, since there are many of you still flying this drone here, the DJI Mini 2, I'm going to run through exactly what this means for you, if anything is new, check to see how reliable this app actually is, and test some of the most important features. And by the end of this video, hopefully you will have all the knowledge to decide if you should update or not. So let's get into it. Firstly, whilst it is always advisable to be on the latest version of the app, some of these have been known to be problematic. Therefore, as this is a full review for Android, should you update and something not to be of your liking, you can use the link in the video description to go back to an older version of the Fly app. For reference, the last version where everything actually all worked correctly for the DJI Mini 2 was version 1.4.8, and I know that very many Mini 2 owners are still using this version. Now, when it comes to the DJI Mini 2, unfortunately, because there is no firmware update like there was with the Mini 3 Pro and the Air 2S to enable any added functions, sadly there is no particular additional features for the DJI Mini 2. As I scroll through all the menus and check all the various options and features, unfortunately, there's just absolutely nothing new for the DJI Mini 2 at all. I can confirm, however, there is a great new feature of the DJI Fly app that I'm sure many of you will be excited to try for yourself, but I'm going to show you that a little bit later on in the video, so please do make sure you do stick around till the end to find out exactly what that's all about. So taking off then with the DJI Mini 2, everything seemed pretty good aside from the weather. I took a chance to get these tests done in between some heavy rain showers, which finally gave us a bit of a break. The DJI Mini 2 picked up satellite lock in a reasonable amount of time, so that's always good. Now, what I'm doing here is a little test of the signal strength, as there seems to be a little bit of a black spot here, and sure enough, we start to lose image transmission. But if we look at the bottom corner, we do actually still have control of the drone. Now, if you ever find yourself in this situation, the trick is to not panic. All you need to do is raise the drone to a higher altitude, as the higher you go, the greater the chances of the video feed actually coming back. And as you can see, as I read my altitude, the video feed does exactly that. Now, as a side note, yes, you always do have the return to home function, but another thing you can do if you are struggling for signal or your picture actually freezes but you still have control of the drone, all you need to do is press this icon right here, open up the map, and from there all you need to do is follow the line, which you can see on screen, and that will guide you all the way back to your home point. So for those of you that wasn't quite aware of how to get out of that situation, now you know. However, this does seem a good time to do a return to home test to make sure that it's working completely fine. So let's hit that button and let the DJI Mini 2 make its way back home to us. This is a great safety feature should you ever lose control or become disorientated, and as you can see, it's done its job absolutely perfectly fine and it's made its way home as it should. A little side tip, what I always do is use the return to home feature just to get the drone above me, and then I do certainly take manual control and land myself just to make sure there are no obstacles in the way. So now we can try a quick shot just to make sure that it's finding the target and doing exactly what it should. In a previous video on this channel, I showed you how you can use a quick shot to randomly select a distant object, and this can produce a great landscape reveal shot that works perfect every single time. I will link that in the video at the end so you can watch that in more detail, but certainly as for this quick shot that we've done here, this droney, that has executed absolutely perfectly, and that is another test passed. But sadly, there are two problems I have found, and they remain from the last update. Firstly, the allowing of the gimbal upward rotation keeps resetting itself in flight, so as you can see, it is currently off. If we switch it on, we can point the camera upwards of level, which is absolutely perfect. However, a bit later on in this flight, when I'm creating this video for you guys, it suddenly stopped responding and going above level. So what I had to do is go back into the menu, toggle this off, then back on again before it would start to work correctly. Now, this is a bit of a pain because of course you might not know that it is switched off and you might accidentally miss the most perfect shot because you can't rotate your gimbal upwards. So DJI certainly need to look at that. In addition to this, the long-standing issue of the setting within the DJI Flight app where the aircraft rotation speed simply will not reset. Now, to give you an example of this is the speed it currently rotates with the values we have got set already. Now, if we pop into our menu and change it so it's slightly faster, you can see the effect it has on the rotation of the aircraft. However, if we do hit that reset button, for some reason it just does not reset to factory. Gimbal speed and smoothness will reset, however the speed of the rotation of the drone simply will not. And again, this is carried over from previous updates, and unfortunately it is DJI Mini 2 specific. So if you remember earlier, I told you of a great new feature of the DJI Flight app. Well, let's take a look at this now. So what we need to do is click to do a panner shot, and we're going to select this one here, and here we go. I'm going to quickly speed this up so we can get straight to the point and you don't need to spend a couple of minutes watching this happen on your video. So now we've completed our panoramic shot. What we can now do within the DJI Flight app that we couldn't do before is access the gallery using this button here. However, now we can preview the spherical panoramic shot we have just taken. What I like as well is the fact that there are many different views we can now choose to actually preview the shot we have just taken. And what I really like about this is the fact that you can check your panoramic shot on location to make sure it's something you are happy with. Basically meaning that if you're not happy with it, you already know that whilst you're still on location, and of course you can do it again. Now, this is a great feature of the DJI Flight app, and I think it's a great addition from DJI. So there we go, that's the full test flight of the DJI Mini 2 and the DJI Fly 1.7.8. For me, old issues still remain. Overall, the app stability is perfectly fine. Everything works as it should. We took video, we took photos, we tried return to home and quick shots, and I suffered no issues whatsoever. So if you do want to go ahead and install, then please go ahead and do so. And if you do install it and you're not quite happy, as mentioned in the outset to this video, you can use my own personal Google Drive to go back to a previous version. If you did find this video useful, please do give it a thumbs up. It always helps. Subscribe if you're not already. And until next time, see you again soon.